Good evening, everyone. So, I haven't been feeling very well. I did do my run on Thursday, and I am going to run tomorrow, which will be the 1st of March. Tonight, I'm making homemade mac and cheese, and I'm going to show everybody how to do that. It's a basic white sauce with cheese. This basic white sauce is actually very helpful for a lot of different types of meals. You can make biscuits and gravy with this basic sauce. What I have here is about 7 tablespoons of butter in this pan, which I'm going to melt all the way. Let me grab my favorite spoon to use. I also have some meat going on the stove here as well, and I have some broiled vegetables in the oven, which I have done tutorials on those before, so I'm not going to talk about that. You can watch another video on that, on broiled vegetables. So now that my butter is nice and melted, I'm going to take, this is a 1/3 cup of flour, 2½ teaspoons of black pepper, and 2 teaspoons of salt, because I'm making a double batch tonight. So we're going to mix that up and cook that flour down and let it get nice and sizzling. Oh, might be too much pepper this time. You can season however you like, but you're going to make kind of a paste. Now, if you want it less pasty than that, add a little bit more butter. It's better to add more butter in the beginning than trying to add more milk to thin up the sauce. So if this is too thick for what you're trying to make, then add a little more butter, which I'm going to do because I don't want it to be that thick. So, grab some butter. I already cooked some noodles also with this dish. You can use either rotini noodles, which I'm using tonight, and or macaroni, traditional. Also with this dish, what's very good in it is if you do some $1 Million bacon and crumble it up and add that to your mac and cheese. That's delicious too. Or just regular bacon bits. You can add that. So I'm just going to thin up this sauce, this mixture here a little bit. It's very peppery, but if you're making a gravy, you want it to be peppery. This is good for shit on a shingle, which is dried beef and toast with a white sauce. Or you can make biscuits and gravy with sausage with this sauce, this base sauce. It's a basic white sauce. You know, there is some good things about old cookbooks rather than just nostalgia. Many cookbooks were made during World War I and World War II when things were rationed and people had rations in the country. So a lot of the meals that are in there or in those old cookbooks are made to stretch food as far as you can stretch it. People had larger families. A lot of people had large families in that era. So I know how to make a lot of depressionary foods because my grandparents primarily raised me, and I grew up eating SOS. And on my next video, I'm intending to make shepherd's pie. So I'll show everybody how to make a shepherd's pie complete and with one pan, with one cast iron pan, the entire meal. The only thing you'll need to do is have a bowl to mash the potatoes up. But other than that, everything else will be done in the cast iron pan. But that will be another video. So you want to thicken your sauce up first before you start adding your cheese. And once you start thickening your sauce, you want to turn down your temperature to a low-medium heat, so that way you don't burn the milk. And again, when you're working with milk, you have to stir constantly, otherwise it will overflow the pan. So I'm having some good protein tonight and some healthy vegetables, some broccoli and some red sweet potatoes and butternut squash, Brussels sprouts, red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, and onion. That's what is in the vegetable melody that I made today. So good wholesome food, and good food for you is good food for your body. It does make you feel better. Doesn't have to be fad diet, just moderation. But I usually thicken this sauce up a little bit. Typically it doesn't take this long. I'm going to turn my heat up a little bit, speed this up a little bit. And these are almost ready to get flipped. I'm pan frying the steak tonight instead of broiling them. And my vegetables are cooked on 425 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. So this is starting to thicken up. So I'm just going to add cheese, and then you just thicken it, and then add it to your pot of cooked noodles, and you have homemade mac and cheese. Also, this recipe here, this is Cabot cheese. I have just for the ingredients. It's 2 cups of milk, 7 tablespoons of butter, 1/3 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of pepper, 2 teaspoons of salt, and about 24 ounces of Cabot extra sharp cheese, or whatever kind of cheese. I prefer the Cabot. I'm lactose intolerant or sensitive, so I use a lot of lactose-free things. Anyway, that's it for the night. So thank you for watching. I'm hoping I'm going to start feeling better. But I'm going to do my video tomorrow, and we'll do some stretching, and hopefully I can get back on track. Okay? So I hope everyone has a pleasant night and a great weekend. Till tomorrow. Thank you for watching.